Good morning. Good morning. It's Heather Buckman here with heatherbuckman.com. How are you today? I am still super praying for all of my friends down in Florida. I hope you're all okay. Stay safe, stay indoors. It's not over yet. I think it's, nice that it kind of calmed down for you guys a little bit because that's going to make it a little bit safer for everybody and less damage, hopefully. So I want to say good morning. It's Heather Buckman with heatherbuckman.com. Definitely stop and say hi if you're here. I got some great tips and tricks and motivation to start your day. I call it my high five at 9 because I think everybody needs a little positivity to start your morning. So if you're here, good morning. If you're here, definitely say hi give me some likes and loves if what I say helps you out in any way, because that's what we're about, is sharing tips and motivating each other and working together for success, right? In whatever area of your life. And my goal is to bring tips for you to become just well-rounded and reach your goals. So I wanted to just share something. I was listening to one of my coaches and mentors. Yes, I have coaches and mentors too. I think that's really important that we all have somebody that we learn from. And this guy is a really successful guy in the time management, setting your goals, and achieving what you want to do in life. And I'm working on this 90-day challenge with some of my team and some of my friends to kind of push our business forward. And one of the things that, I've been struggling with is, good morning, Hope, is tracking. My girlfriend's going to laugh at me when she says this because I'm not really one of those people that likes to track things. I find it difficult. I struggle with it. I don't want to do it. I give myself every reason not to track my progress, right? I just say it's too time consuming. It's not me. But what this guy was saying is our human instincts keeps us safe and it keeps us where we are, right? So when we do this 90-day run, set yourself a goal for whatever it is, 90 days, right? If you want to lose some weight, give yourself 90 days, right? I'm working on my business. I'm going to push my business for 90 days. I'm going to challenge myself to do certain things and go outside my comfort zone. One of them is making these videos. I really want to come and talk to you every morning at 9 o'clock, probably not the weekend, so I'll see you Monday. And it's challenging me to move forward. But when we stay in our human instincts, we say I can say that, we stay safe. We stay where we are. We don't push ourselves, we don't challenge ourselves, and we don't do that. And a 90-day run kind of creates that focus and gives us a clarity to what we want to achieve and how we're going to go after it, right? So we set these little goals. So we go do it, right? I want to maybe do so many XYZs to grow my business, maybe calls or whatever your business is. I want to make so many videos. If you're losing weight, you got to work out and eat clean. So you set yourself some daily little goals that you do to kind of go after it for 90 days. But if you don't track what you're doing, and this is where I struggle at, right? You've got to have an accountability to yourself and maybe somebody else. So find a partner that's trying to reach the same goals as you and kind of latch on to them and say, hey, good morning, Rachel, let's do this together and let's keep ourselves accountable. And, you need to track those numbers. And this is why I hate doing it because let's just say keep working out, right? When I was really trying to lose weight, I was putting everything I was eating into myfitnesspal.com, I guess, right? So I can track my kind of calories, and I was kind of seeing how many calories I was burning during my workout. And when you put those numbers in, and yes, it was hard, and yes, it was time consuming to write down every single thing I ate, but it was an honest review of what I did, right? For that day and that week. Was I, eating 20,000 calories and only burning 5? I mean, no wonder I'm gaining weight. But if I was doing the opposite, no wonder I'm losing weight, right? But it was an honest review, and I did that for a month, even do it for a week, and it's eye-opening where your calories kind of come from and how you're doing. So, if that helps me in my fitness and my health and my lifestyle and my weight loss goals, why am I not doing it, say, for my business, right? And you could do this in any kind of area, any goal that you have. So if you have these goals, you should write down what your goals are to accomplish and then track your progress. Are you meeting them 70% of the time? Nobody's perfect. You're not going to be, doing every single thing every day and meeting at 100%. Nobody will. But aim for 70%. And what happens is if you track your numbers down, say you want to make, if you're in a sales thing, say you want to make 100 sales calls this week. Maybe it's only I don't know, say 10 to 20 a day or something, and it's not a lot, and you're you're writing it down. Check, 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 check. I made those calls, right? At the end of the day, you can count up and say, I made 8 calls, I made 10 calls, I made 15 calls, I made 3 calls. And at the end of the week, you can say, I made 80 calls, or I made 70 calls, or I made 50 calls. I mean, it's your accountability to yourself to say, I'm doing what I said I was going to do, right? So you've got to write those down and be honest with yourself, because, and here's where I struggle, because if you don't honestly do it, like, you really don't know where you are. And your biggest growth in your goals and what you're trying to achieve is when you're really, really struggling. It's that week that you don't want to tell your partner like what your numbers were, because you probably didn't do very well, right? You probably slacked. You probably had a bad week. Maybe family got involved and you just couldn't do what you needed to do. You ate bad and you didn't work out. Whatever your goals are, you probably slacked a little bit. And those are the weeks that you really struggle to want to like tell somebody your numbers, right? Those are the weeks that you really struggle to kind of like admit that you didn't do what you needed to do. But when you admit to yourself that your goal is, so powerful that you want to reach it, and you're admitting to yourself you didn't do the things that you told yourself you're going to do, that's where you start to grow, right? That's when you start getting better and going, oh my gosh, I'm admitting that I didn't do what I said and I promised myself I was going to do. And I want to turn it around next week to make it closer to that 70%, right? And you do that by tracking. And I admit, I fight it. I fight it because I hate tracking, because it truly admits what I do and I don't do. It puts it right in front of me. So I've kind of like started a little tracker sheet in my, my planner. I'm just going to hang it up. For me, it's just check, check, check. And I write down some of the things that I said I was going to do for my goals so I can be accountable to myself and track those numbers at the end of the week. And I'm saying this and I'm declaring it because you know me, I just told you I hate doing it, but if I don't declare it to my accountability partners, which today is you guys, I probably wouldn't do it. And here's the reason that this really works is 90% of our thoughts just are, let me back up real quick. Do you know the average person has 70 to 90,000 thoughts a day? Just, from what you wear to what you eat to, making the direction and do I change lanes and where do I go shopping? I mean, most of the thoughts that we do are just so basic and instinct that we don't even think about them. We just do them because that's life, right? So 90% of our thoughts come from yesterday. We do the same thing. We get up and we brush our teeth. I mean, really, brushing your teeth is a thought, right? I got to go and brush my teeth. But if you just are so in that habit, you don't even think about doing it. Well, the problem is if you're trying to step up and like yesterday I said, close that gap from where you are to where you want to be, you've got to close that gap and do something. You've got to consciously do it. Really think about doing it. And that's the hard part, because when you're so stuck in an everyday habit, we just don't think about it, right? So when you create that checklist of, here's my goals and here's what I need to accomplish, and you start writing it down, it makes you consciously think about your goals and keeps you on track of where you're going to go. It's really, really hard because your brain likes to stay safe and is going to stay in that same spot. And now it's saying, oh my gosh, you're making me do something different. It doesn't like different. It likes to be safe. It likes that repetitive motion of just getting up and doing the same thing. And, you pick out your clothes and you go to dress and you just drive to work and you do your day. It likes to just be safe and comfortable. So today I'm trying to encourage you guys to step outside your comfort and find out your goals and start tracking it. Do it for a week. It's going to get uncomfortable. If you can make it past a week, do it another week. But, set a goal. And the reason you do 90 days is because 90 days really starts to drive that behavior of consciously thinking about where you're going and where you want to be. It really makes you think about your goals and what the daily actions are, and not just get into that daily habit. It's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable. And most people, I got to admit, our group with my thing started off with 80 people and it already dropped down to 20 people in the second week because people don't like to track, and I'm one of them. I don't like to track it. So, it's uncomfortable to do it. It's easy to say I want to reach my goals. It's uncomfortable to push it. And it's even more uncomfortable when you have to admit to somebody if you're doing your job and not doing your job. And your job is your goal. It's not, showing up to do work. So 90 days will create new thinking. 90 days will, where you track everything. It gives you new energy. it really will take you to a new level. So I encourage you guys, if you've got a 90-day goal, declare it in the comments below. Start there. Start by saying, I got this. I'm going to commit to myself for 90 days. I'm going to write down the action steps that I have to do every day that's going to move me closer to that goal, you know? Maybe it's just walking 10,000 steps if it's a fitness goal, right? Maybe it's if you're trying to build your relationship, it's 90 days where I'm not going to say goodbye to my spouse without saying I love you and give you a kiss on something that really was a positive thought to start the day, you know, or something really nice about that person. You know, there's so many ways you can do it, but then grab your journal and grab your planner and track it. You know, did you do it? It's a yes or a no, you know? It's hard to admit that we're committing to ourselves and what we want and we're not doing it. It's really hard. It's really hard to do something that's different. It's really hard. But just know that your first week, you're not going to be perfect. Your second week, you'll still probably not be perfect. Every week, you just learn to improve on it. Look on those numbers, set an accountability goal, challenge yourself to say down below, I'm committed to my goals. I'm committed. I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep my thoughts and my whys, which we talked about yesterday, in my mind, and I'm going to work really, really hard to do it, and I'm going to commit to tracking it. And don't be perfect, just aim for 70%. 70% is a great number because, again, we're not perfect, and we just want to see improvements. And that 70% will start driving the intentional thoughts, right? We don't want to just live by instincts. We want to start living by intention. That will create our goals. That will create our life. That will create where we want to be in a year from now, 5 years from now, in our future. So I hope I'm inspiring you guys. I so thank you for joining me. Please tell me you're committed below and that you're going to go out there and step outside your comfort zone, do something different, train your brain that it's okay to not be 100% safe and just live in the moment of non-thoughts. I mean, I was just laughing the other day. I get in a car and my car almost drives me, to work or something. It drives me to that same place I do every day. That sometimes if I'm not driving to work, I actually drive to work and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was supposed to turn to go to the grocery store or something. What is up with that, right? Don't live in a world where you are just on autopilot. So today, create your goal, commit to yourself and say, I'm committed. Leave a comment below and start tracking it and find somebody that wants to do it with you and be accountable. And yes, it's scary. And that day that you did the worst is the one you're going to grow the most because you're going to be honest with yourself and say, oh my gosh, I'm not doing what I committed to myself that I'm going to do. Or I'm committed to my kids, or I committed to my spouse, or I committed to my family, or whatever it is, right? Committed to my future. So have a great day. I hope I inspired you. Thank you for joining me every day. High five at 9 with Heather Buckman at heatherbuckman.com. I won't be here probably on the weekends because we all need a break. But if, maybe I'll pop in. I don't know. But if this is nice and valuable, give me some thumbs up and a little love so I know to come back and give you some more great tips. I'll talk to you on Monday. Have a great day. Bye.